Hi, my name's Dragonuto, and today I wanted to talk to you about the over reliance on LUTI for team rankings and how it negatively affects the game's competitive nature. So, I'm going to start off with a quick rundown of LUTI. So, Leagues Under the Ink, or LUTI, is a Splatoon 2 league that uses a system to split teams into one of 10 divisions, ranging from X Division, the highest, to Division 8 US and 8 EU, the perceived lowest divisions. The league usually runs for around 2 to 3 months, and I'm a member of the staff for LUTI and have helped run it for 6 seasons or so. LUTI is held 2 to 3 times a year and has been running since the start of Splatoon 1. The issue at hand is that teams and players have been using LUTI to rank other members of the community, potentially looking down on them or seeing them as out of reach if they have a lower division or much higher division than themselves. I'd like to preface my argument with the fact that LUTI divisions aren't wholly accurate, and that while staff and council try their best to make them correct, there are always incorrect team placings in the mix, thus making LUTI placings an unreliable metric. Thus creating a problem that people are using LUTI to rank teams and players without using their experience as competitive players as a guide, but instead an arbitrary number that may or may not be accurate, that being the divisions within LUTI. So this creates a problem where we can't really accurately judge a Splatoon player's skill based on the division that of the team or the division that a player is in. So when we're looking for these new members of teams in free agent channels or in team recruitment servers, we aren't able to accurately find what level of player best suits that team. Now this is a problem caused by the community itself, as it is using these divisions as a metric to basically rank players inaccurately on a board. Player skill improves very fast. That's something we know. It happens over time, and considering the length of LUTI being 2 to 3 months, over this small period of time, teams could just get so much better. So when a player, maybe a player who considers themselves Division 1, sees a team that is Division 2, and they see that little Division 2 logo next to them, they feel that they're too good for that team, or they're better than that team. Whereas that Division 2 team could be incredibly good, and they could be improving at a consistent rate, and that player who considers themselves Division 1 could be an incredibly useful asset to that Division 2 team, but he'll never apply for that team, or they'll never apply for that team, because they think themselves better than this Division 2 team that they don't know anything about. This then causes this issue where you have teams that are looking for members and free agents that are looking for teams that are never going to find anybody, because they're constantly judging these other players that are looking and these other teams that are looking based on something that is wholly inaccurate, and they can't find these players, and thus we have this horrible free agent crisis that I consider we're in now, where we have half of the community as free agents and half of the tournament entries as pickups. This is an issue that I think is partially caused by this gatekeeping attitude that we're using with the division system. Now, LUTI itself doesn't consider the divisions to be a be-all end-all of skill, and we've said this forever. We've never defined it as if you're Division 1, you are 100% better than someone in Division 2. So this is causing less teams to be created, this is causing the community to be less competitive, and to seem to be a bit stagnant. I'm thinking it's inhibiting player growth, it's dissuading players from actively seeking out improvement because they feel they're limited by the division that they're given or the division that they of the team that they were on. Now don't get me wrong here, I don't think LUTI is the issue here. I think it's the fact that the community has been considering these divisions to be the be-all end-all of skill, like I've said. I don't think that's the case, and I think the fact that we keep using it as the case is completely wrong. The system that we're using to define these players who are potentially incredibly good is just poor, and we're stopping the community from growing competitively in the way that it really should be. Thus, my point comes to an end here, the fact that as a community, using LUTI ranking or LUTI divisions to choose players or to cherry pick which teams you consider to be good is negatively affecting the game's competitive nature, and we should stop this and start using other metrics like how well their personality meshes with the team and how they perform in scrims with the team that they want to join, and so that you can understand to an extent if that person will be an improvement to your team's roster, and if they will positively impact your team's ability and skill during the course of future tournaments and LUTI. Obviously, not using those LUTI divisions to then divide yourself off from the rest of the community. So that's really been the point that I wanted to cover in this quite short video. I've kind of been inspired, obviously, by Dude trying to make it cool to the community to bring more content to us. So I know this is a bit of a negative video, but I just wanted to bring to light a massive issue that I see personally every single season. As a member of staff, it's not something that I consider a non-issue. It's something that is a part of my everyday life, seeing people complaining about LUTI divisions or people complaining about how their team has been doing. Like most TOs and players, I just want the community to succeed, so I just wanted to make this video to address a problem that I think is holding us back as a community, and I think potentially we could make an improvement here if we start not using divisions to rank teams or players that are free agents or looking for extra members to add to their team. So thank you for watching this video. You can follow me at Dragonuto on Twitter. That's very lucky to have that name. I'd like to thank Kbot because he's awesome and helped me come up with this idea, plus the fact that he also inspired me as well with his TO video that he made. I'll link that in the description. And join next season of LUTI when that eventually comes around soon, trademark.